Hey guys, it has been a while. Oh, Happy New Year. Can we still say that? That's how long it's been since I've done a video. Because one, I don't think people cared. People weren't really watching. I wasn't getting a lot of traction. And two, I just feel like my time was better served doing better things, doing other things. Which brings me to time. 9 to 5. Let's talk about Married at First Sight, Steve and Noy. Because, I watch a lot of vlogs that I totally enjoy. I think these people are doing a great job, which is another reason why I was like, yeah, you know what? My personality isn't coming through on these vlogs. So I'm just going to stop and do other things. Because, I'm creative. I have abilities, just like Steve. I can generate income in other avenues, just like Steve. Steve was laid off from his sales engineer's job in Boston, everybody. Let's just keep that in mind, in Boston. So Steve could have made anywhere salary-wise from $100 to $150,000 a year. I don't know what Noy does. I don't remember what Noy does. But I'm guessing that Steve could command more income. However, Steve decided when he was laid off that I'm going to take a few months off to travel and figure out life and, just go on a trip. And the funny thing is, people in the comments are just coming for Steve. Like, they just keep coming for Steve. Like, Steve is lazy. Steve is this. Steve is vagabond. His daddy called him a vagabond. Well, first of all, let's just go back to his dad calling him a vagabond. His dad probably holds the same mentality as most people. Most people think it's admirable to go to work at 9 a.m. and clock out at 5 p.m. Get your salary, get your pizza on the weekends. Like, everybody lives for the weekends versus Steve living for each day. But yet Steve is the subject. He's being condemned for his life choices because, oh, he's now married now. Steve's saying I versus we. Let's keep in mind, they have known each other for 2 weeks at this point. The fact that, and listen, I'm going to back up. The fact that the Pastor Cal and Dr. Viviana are rushing people into sex because they've been married for 2 weeks, like, why? What's the rush? But that's not what we're here for. But it's like the fact that Steve should have this we mindset when he just met this girl. He didn't know anything about her. He just met her. First of all, the girl's already proven to be a little unstable, saying, I'm falling in love with you after like 2 days. Steve is the most sensible person on the cast to me. To me, I think he gets it. The lifestyle that he's chosen isn't the path for most people, which is fine, but he's being condemned by most people for his lifestyle choices. But I believe Steve holds the same mindset that I do. Work smarter, not harder. Because you think that because you work 40 hours a week and made your little stanky $60,000 a year that you doing something. Whereas Steve said, and I commented on somebody's page where I said, if Steve says he designs logos, he also designs websites as well as he does photography. Do you know that one logo you could earn up to $15,000 for one logo? Now, mind you, the going rate, because people were like, everybody in Canva and Fiverr, people are lowballing. People aren't commanding that much money for logos anymore. But Steve can earn a lot of money. Let's just say he earned $3,000 on a logo. That's probably 1 month's rent in Boston, because these little tiny, janky apartments that they live in, I'm sure that's like 1 month rent. So let's say he did one website. A website can cost anywhere from $250 to some BS Wix website to something that he developed himself. He can make up to $75,000 on one website. Okay, let's say he made $5,000 on a website. $5,000. A photo shoot could be anywhere from $300 all the way up to $75,000 or $150,000, depending on your level. So let's just say Steve makes, $1,000 on a photo shoot. So right then, what did I say? 3,000, 5,000, 1,000. That's $9,000 a month. Okay, or was it 8,000? I don't know. But let's just be clear. Most Americans don't make that much money. Steve says he has savings, and I know somebody got caught up on it. He said, if I need money, I can go into my savings. You shouldn't have to go into your savings. Well, we don't know what kind of savings Steve has. We don't know if he has IRAs, bonds, stocks. crypto. We don't know what Steve has. And I'm guessing because he's so tech savvy that he has a certain amount, like different types of savings accounts, not just some little janky 0.35 interest rate savings. Even if he had that, we don't know how much he has in it. So let's stop counting Steve's money and talking about how lazy Steve is. Because Steve, one thing I like about him is he's sensible and he got Noy's ass together. Because she is flying off the rails over some pasta, and I know everybody's like, it's not really about pasta or noodles. It's because he doesn't have a job. The thing with Noy is she grew up poor, like many people did, or grew up with the mindset that, she didn't have a lot of things. Like many people, she didn't have a lot of things, so she's afraid to go back there. And Steve hasn't given her a plan like, oh, well, he says, I know I can make money. He knows this. He bet on himself. But she is of the mindset of, I go to work, I go to work, I go to work. But I could be working, I could be walking down the street working. I'm always working. Mentally, I'm always working. Ideas are my business. Steve is creative. I am a creative. So I get Steve. I understand. Because here's the funny thing. I was kind of offered a job and my mother did this whole sigh of relief. But I'm thinking, this job would probably be making $10,000 less than I made this entire year. But you would rather me make $10,000 less and have this so-called stability, which, mind you, in this country, there's no such thing as stability. Jobs can be pulled right from under you. You could dedicate your life 25 years to one job, and they can one day say, we don't want you no more. And you're out there on the street with your little $10,000 in savings, even if you have that. Because they say the average American only has like $5,300 in savings. And I don't think Steve is an average American. So let's just cut Steve some slack. That's a tongue twister. Steve some slack. Like, Steve knows what he's doing, and Noy needs to either come up to where he is, or he needs to come down to where she is. Or they just need to meet somewhere in the middle. I'm not trying to say he's up here and she's down here, but they need to meet somewhere in the middle if they are going to work. Which, he seems to be the most sensible. She just needs to free herself, or he needs to come and get some sort of prove to her that he has steady income, because if he doesn't, this ain't gonna work, because we know finances kill marriages. Not necessarily cheating. Finances kill most marriages. So that's all I have to say. Peace.